Hi guys, it's April. I'm going to try to do this for the third time. My daughter keeps wanting to come in and sit on my lap and all that, and not tonight. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to do this video was a lot of people want to know how individuals with gastric bypass, what do we do for the holidays, for food and everything. And first and foremost, portion control, get your protein in first, and then get creative with your desserts and stuff like that. So what I have found over the last almost 7 months is one thing is, before surgery, my favorite thing around Thanksgiving was pumpkin pie. Oh my lands, pumpkin pie. Can't have it now. So there are ways around that. And one thing, and thank you, Miss Alicia, for this, is the acorn squash. You slice it in half, you gut out all the seeds and the innards. It kind of looks like like a pumpkin on the inside, not as much seeds and stuff, but slice it in half, clean all the stuffing out of it, the stuff out of it, put it in the oven, 45 minutes at I think it was like 375. You get that out, slab some cinnamon and Splenda on it, a little bit of butter, and let me tell you what, that is good stuff. It reminds me a lot of pumpkin pie, and my mind thinks I'm getting it. It's calming down that mental craving. So that was one thing that I have found so far for the pumpkin pie substitution. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about is in the can of the cut sweet potatoes, which I like sweet potatoes, the can has 32 grams of sugar per serving, which is a half a cup. I can't do that because personally, my nutritionist and my doctor says I cannot have anything that has sugar or corn syrup or anything like that that's in the first 3 ingredients. Well, the corn syrup is in the second. No, it is in the third. It's the third ingredient. So that's out for me. So I'm like, well, what can I do? Well, that's when you just go to the actual sweet potato itself in the grocery store, get it, bake it, pop it in the microwave. Usually they come sealed up. When, you're done with that, put a little bit of butter and cinnamon on that, and, you're getting it right from the source instead of going through the can, all that processed stuff. We as Americans don't even need all of that. We should just start going back. But anyway, that's a whole other segment on that. Another thing that I like is pineapple chunks. Now, there is 15 grams of sugar per half cup. The good thing is the sugar is all natural sugar. This is in 100% pineapple juice. It's not in syrup or anything. So to liven these up, you can wrap bacon around them, put them in the oven, put little toothpicks in them. You're getting your protein and a fruit at the same time. And, try to have like a sweet and salty. There you go. And that's always an idea. Of course, you can have the turkey, depending on if your stomach tolerates it. Some meats, I cannot have still. My stomach's just like, no, no lady. So, if you could tolerate the turkey, great source of protein. Some families, they do ham on Thanksgiving. If your stomach can tolerate that as well, pork products, go right on ahead. As long as your nutritionist and your doctor, like I said, says, yeah, that's great for you. Or good, it's okay. Please go. Ask Bubby to help you. Please go. Also, some people do fish for Thanksgiving. Hey, if that's what your family does, that's, that's okay. That's an alternative. Let me help you then. Now, like, remember your starches. There you go, honey. Your carbs. Please watch your carbs. You have mashed potatoes out there. You've got corn, cream corn, green bean casserole because of the cream of mushroom soups and those little lovely crunchies on the top that were always so good. Just be careful of that. And I know that, it's like, oh, but that's so good. Okay, you've covered your protein for the day. You're good to go, and you want to have a serving of mashed potatoes, then do it. That's not going to, you've met your protein requirement. You've had your fluid, your water, your fluids that you need for the day, and you have, your little serving of mashed potatoes or, of corn if your pouch can tolerate that and everything. Moderation, get that protein in first. I'm actually excited when I can find alternatives to the bad stuff that I used to have. I'm actually, I eat a lot more like real fruit. I have oranges here. And I love the Honey Crisp apples. Oh, apples, bananas. Now, of course, keep in mind with the apples, take the skin off. Speaking of apples, I have found a way to make apple pie that is good, that we can eat. I take egg roll wraps, excuse me, lay them out on a cookie sheet, spray the cookie sheet first, lay them out there. In a separate bowl, I chop up my Honey Crisp apples with no skin, put in some cinnamon, put in some Splenda, a little bit of melted butter. Now, there's alternatives if you can't tolerate butter, of course. And then I whip all that together, and that's my filling. I don't need and I cannot have all the, the jelly stuff that's in most apple pies. And of course, can't have the crust. But with the egg roll wrapper, that it's already got protein. It's got protein in it, which helps. And then, once you get it all folded into itself to bake it, you're not having that big thick crust like you would find with regular apple pies. So, you want to do a cherry pie, do the same thing with the egg roll wrapper, but get actual real cherries, and do something like that. There's alternatives out there. So don't feel down about the holidays. And if you need that mourning process, I strongly advise to do that. Before I had my surgery, I took 6 months to mourn certain things that I knew that I would not be able to have again for the rest of my life, and I'm really glad I did that. So if you haven't had the surgery, I would suggest that you do that. And do it properly. Don't just go on a binge and be like, okay, I'm gonna, eat whatever I want and do all this. I took 6 months, and I just slowly started eliminating things and factors from my life, and it has helped. It has helped a lot. And so yeah. We covered a lot of desserts. If you have any suggestions or alternative ways of making things, please post them below. I would love to hear. I would love to read any suggestions that you have. Oh, also deviled eggs. The eggs is a good protein. You don't want to use mayonnaise, then don't use mayonnaise with all that stuff on the inside. You can find things online for alternatives. with that. So just keep an open mind, and I Google the hell out of everything pretty much anymore. Pinterest, love Pinterest. They have a lot of good ideas on that as well. So I better go. I'm rambling and rambling. So God bless. Have a safe holiday, and I will talk to you next month. Bye-bye.